Thank you. Good afternoon and welcome to historic Joint Base Myer, Henderson Hall. Originally established as Fort Whipple in 1863 and changed to Joint Base Myer, Henderson Hall in 2009. Its main purpose was fortification and the defense of Washington. Since its inception, Joint Base Myer, Henderson Hall has been the home of horse cavalry, artillery, and infantry. Today, it is home to the Old Guard, the United States Army Band, and the United States Army Garrison. Before today's review begins, the United States Army Band, Pershing Zone, presents a pre-ceremonial concert featuring the following musical selections: Saber and Spurs and America the Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Army Band. Once again, good afternoon and welcome. Today, the United States Army Military District of Washington, represented by the soldiers of the 3rd United States Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard, and the United States Army Band, Pershing Zone, pays special tribute to several soldiers who are retiring after many years of distinguished service to the United States Army and our nation. Participating in today's review from left to right is the United States Army Band, Pershing Zone, formed in 1922 by then Army Chief of Staff General John J. Pershing. The United States Army Band is the premier band of our senior service. Pershing Zone provides musical support for ceremonies and special events in our nation's capital and throughout the United States. The United States Army Band is under the direction of Lieutenant Colonel Randy Bartell and led by Drum Major Rob Moore. Elements of the Old Guard include Honor Guard Company, commanded by Captain Orrin Dennett and led by Staff Sergeant Tyler McKay. Next on line is Doghouse Company, commanded by First Lieutenant Randall Holland and led by Staff Sergeant Randall Hoover. Next on line is Battlehard Company, commanded by Captain Killian Pagano and led by Sergeant First Class Alexander Smith. Following is the Commander-in-Chief's Guard, patterned after the unit created by General George Washington in 1776 to be his personal guard. The Commander-in-Chief's Guard is commanded by First Lieutenant Alex Decker and led by Staff Sergeant Tyler Wilson. The last element on line, dressed in the Continental Musician's uniform, is the United States Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps. During the American Revolution, musicians wore the reverse colors of their parent infantry unit. The men and women of the United States Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps maintained this tradition by wearing red coats instead of the infantry blue. The Corps is led today by Drum Major Barrett Newman. Ladies and gentlemen, moving into position is the Commander of Troops for today's ceremony, Lieutenant Colonel Charles F. Wall, Commander, 1st Battalion, 3rd United States Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard. Since the days of the American Revolution, the colors have been one of the most important elements of a military unit. Therefore, taking the center of our formation in just a moment and bearing the national color is the nation's foremost color team, the 3rd Infantry's Continental Color Guard led by Staff Sergeant Zachary Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the advancing of the colors.
Advance the colors.
Please be seated.
Call, ready, cut! Call, dress center, dress! Also, dress center, dress! Call, ready, front! Also, ready, front!
The history of the 3rd United States Infantry Regiment reflects the growth and development of our nation. 55 well-earned battle streamers, 2 valorous unit awards, 3 meritorious unit commendations, and 5 superior unit awards attest to the Old Guard's record of bravery in action and achievements during peacetime. In 1922, the War Department granted permission for the Old Guard to pass and review with bayonets fixed. The Old Guard will now fix bayonets to the traditional beat of the drum.
Sound, fix bayonets. Shoulder, phalanx, and 1, and 2, and 3. Call, right, shoulder, off! Call, ready, cut!
Ladies and gentlemen, taking the reviewing stand are the reviewing officials for today's ceremony. Colonel Sang J. Pack, Chief Warrant Officer 3, Antonio L. McFadden, and Sergeant Major David W. Carr. Accompanied by the host, Colonel David B. Rowland, Commander, 3rd United States Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard, and Command Sergeant Major Veronica E. Knapp, Command Sergeant Major, Joint Task Force, National Capital Region, and United States Army Military District of Washington.
Present! Horse! And 1, and 2, and 3. Step. Present. Arms. Step. Order.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the advancing of the colors and remain standing for the United States national anthem.
Color forward. More. Sir, the persons to be honored and colors are present. Present the command. Shoulder, firelocks, and 1, and 2, and 3. Present. Horse, and 1, and 2, and 3. Detachment. Present. On.
Please be seated.
Attention. Order. On. Order. On. And 1, and 2. Order. Firelocks. And 1, and 2, and 3. Ceremonial. At ease. And 1, and 2. Staff. Ceremonial. At ease.
Colonel Rowland and Command Sergeant Major Knapp are now moving into position to honor the retirees. Please feel free to applaud your soldiers as they are called. Headquarters Department of the Army by special order, by order of the Secretary of the Army, the following soldiers of the Department of the Army are now retired. Colonel Sang J. Pak, Medical Services. Chief Warrant Officer 3, Antonio L. McFadden, Quartermaster. Sergeant Major David W. Carr, Field Artillery. Colonel Frank C. Blake, Medical Services. Colonel Juliana M. Lefevre, Logistics. Lieutenant Colonel Carlo U. Avergas, Aviation. Lieutenant Colonel Jennifer D. Liles, 26 Bravo. Lieutenant Colonel George T. Rabb, Aviation. Lieutenant Colonel Antonio Salazar, Signal Corps. Lieutenant Colonel Lawrence Torres, Adjutant General. Major Cassandra E. Daly, Logistics. Major Scott C. Hetzel, Military Intelligence. Chief Warrant Officer 2, Joseph N. Wilson, Adjutant General. Sergeant Major Matthew J. Roberts, Adjutant General. Master Sergeant Diana R. Edwards. Master Sergeant Carol Joy S. Howard, Adjutant General. Sergeant First Class Tiana M. Allen. Sergeant First Class Valencia C. Cephas, 42 Alpha. Sergeant First Class Tyrone A. Fitzgerald, Signal Corps. Sergeant First Class Eric S. Taylor, Petroleum Supply Specialist. Sergeant First Class Kamar F. Stanley, Quartermaster. We are proud to recognize these soldiers' devotion to our country, and we wish them happiness and prosperity in their well-earned retirement.
Step.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the posting of the colors.
Post colors. Staff, right. Base.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonel Rowland.
Well, welcome to Joint Base Myer Henderson Hall. Distinguished guests, senior leaders, command sergeants major, friends, and above all, the soldiers and families to be honored here today. Thank you for making the time to attend this retirement ceremony, and welcome to Joint Base Myer Henderson Hall. On behalf of the Secretary of the Army, the Honorable Christine Wormuth, Chief of Staff of the Army, General Randy George, and the Sergeant Major of the Army, Michael Weimer, and Major General Trevor Brennenkamp, Commander, Military District of Washington, welcome. It's another beautiful day here in the National Capital Region, and a great day to be a soldier. But before I address our distinguished retirees and their families, I would like to take a moment and thank those who worked so hard today for such a special occasion. On the floor in front of you are the soldiers of the 3rd U.S. Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard, the Army's oldest active duty infantry regiment. You look tremendous, and your professionalism and precision honors those retiring here today. Thank you for your hard work and dedication, and thanks for serving our great Army. Thanks also to the members of the United States Army Band, Purging Zone. As always, you look and sound amazing and make these ceremonies all the more special. The soldiers retiring here today joined the Army to be all that they could be. Some joined the Army following Desert Shield and Desert Storm. Others after America was attacked on 9/11. All have stood ready to meet the challenges and uncertainties of the global war on terror that brought almost 2 decades of continuous combat operations. They stand here today representing the best of America. Today we honor 21 soldiers and their families for their faithful and dedicated service to our nation and for being all that they could be. Collectively, these soldiers represent 580 years of military service across our Army. With service around the globe and in a variety of combat arms, combat support, and combat service support specialties, these soldiers, leaders, and their families answered our nation's call and have not only served during a period of persistent conflict, but also have led our young men and women to deploy into harm's way and do our nation's bidding. Our Army and our nation owes you a debt of gratitude for your service and sacrifice that can never be fully repaid. The medal and the flag are but a small token of appreciation for your service. Now, I would like to take just a moment to talk about our flag, Old Glory. You received the flag on the occasion of your retirement is significant in that it is the symbol of our nation and recognized around the world. We have fought to protect the freedoms and our way of life, and we wear the stars and stripes proudly on our uniform, both at home and deployed. The red color in the flag symbolizes the hardness and valor each of you has had personified as a soldier and a leader in our Army, operating in austere conditions with limited resources to accomplish such difficult missions. The white refers to the purity and innocence which you have sought to protect both here, at home, and abroad. Finally, the blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice, which each of you has demonstrated in your conduct of your duties as officers and non-commissioned officers. I'm sure the flag holds a special meaning for each of you, as it should, given your service to our nation. As you walk out of Conmy Hall today, take solace in knowing that you leave behind an enduring legacy that lives on in the countless soldiers you have trained, mentored, and inspired. The Army is better because of your service. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for these 21 outstanding soldiers. We would be remiss, though, if we did not take some time to thank the family members of each of these retiring soldiers. Your sacrifice and support over the past 20-plus years has been foundational to the success of each of these retirees, allowing them to accomplish their assigned mission and serve the Army they love. You have made steadfast in your support during a time of war that's necessitated family separations, and for that, we will never be adequately compensated. Please accept our eternal thanks on behalf of a grateful nation for all that you have endured as military families. We could not fulfill our obligations to our soldiers, the Army, and the nation without the love and support of our families. So, please join me in a round of applause for the families of our retirees. To our retiring soldiers, thank you for your service. You are warriors and soldiers for life. So, I humbly ask for one last task. Tell the Army story. Help maintain our all-volunteer Army by sharing your experiences with America's sons and daughters, so they might be inspired to follow in your footsteps and volunteer to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. We continue to serve as a shining example around the world because men and women like you have volunteered to serve. So again, on behalf of Secretary Wormuth, General George, Sergeant Major Weimer, the Joint Task Force National Capital Region, the Military District of Washington, the United States Army, and a proud and grateful nation. Thank you. Good luck and Godspeed. Heed the Guardian. This will defend and be all that you can be.
Attention. Old guard. Attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Army Song.
Great job on the old guard. Pershing's out.
Forward. March.
The United States Army is honored to have presented today's special ceremony. Thank you for attending and enjoy the rest of your day.